have this really cute fall leaf decoration here. Keep watching to the end and I'll show you how I got this look. Make sure you hit the like button and the subscribe button. Now let's get into it. So I'm getting the fall vibe with the kids back in school and temperatures getting a little cooler. Now I have this leaf mold that was given to MOI Resin Envy from Sandra McCoy. She has donated a lot of different molds to us to use, and I have used this one before. I just thought of a really good idea that any beginner can make look pretty fabulous. So I'm gonna begin by showing you what I'm going to use. Okay, we have the Chameleon powders, and these are mirrored powders that I love to use. They're come with 5 different ones. I'm just going to use 3. The ones that look like fall leaves. Yeah, so I'm not going to use the blue. And let's see, that one's red. Oh my goodness, so hard to decide. Maybe I'll use, hard to decide. I don't know, should we go with this one? This sort of has a blue tint. No, we won't. Okay, even though it's green. These are very earthy. And it's gonna look so cool because they're mirrored. Okay, we will first make sure our mold is clean because I think I had some glitter in there. And then we're going to spray it with a mold release. That always helps the mold last longer because the resin isn't sticking to it when you unmold. And I don't go anywhere without this isopropyl spritzer. So this is going to help me clean the mold a little bit before we spray it. And I'm going to use this brush first to paint this metallic powders on there. And that is our first step before we pour. So let's get to it. let's just tap this off a little bit. Get some of the loose powder off of it so it's not floating around once we pour our resin. And prepare for our resin. Okay, so we cleaned up our pigment mess and we are ready for step 2, and that will be pouring the resin. So what I did is just a little trick. I like to use the 1-to-1 ice thin, and it's because it's so crystal clear. But because it's a 1-to-1, normally they're more thick, so I just I measured my A, measured my B, just sat them in a little bath of warm water for a little bit before I mix them together, and it comes out a lot thinner. So a mold like this tends to, it tends to be more difficult and traps the bubbles in there. So with using the resin, in a thicker consistency, it's easier for the bubbles to actually rise to the top. Something that's thicker resin, it's harder to get out. So that's one tip for when you're using molds like this that's gonna be covering up the resin. Also, somebody gave us this Sig Wong ink to try out. It came in a box of 24. It's metallic alcohol, so it's gonna have a little bit of shimmer. I want it to basically show through on the clear areas. That's going to be pretty cool looking. And I picked out what I thought would go good with the colors we already used, and also what I would think is on a leaf in the fall. So it does say it's very concentrated, so I'm not looking to put a lot in. I just want to tint this because when you're using clear resin, it might be, what they call UV resistant, but it will eventually yellow. So I'm just going to give it a little bit of color, and that will help keep it from showing when it does yellow. So let's just try, since it's concentrated. Let's see what. Nope, that's not gonna be enough for sure. Let's do 3 more. Just to give it a little bit of color. This is rose gold. That might be about it. Because we're not trying to make it, we still want it to be translucent. I don't know, I think I'd like more color in there. All right, so that is a total of 10 drops, and we're working with 4 ounces here. That might be good. I think I'm gonna go for that. I don't know if you can see, it's tinted, it's metallic, but definitely can see through it. Transparent. Okay. All right, let's give it a go. So make sure, of course, that your board is level, because you don't want a lopsided leaf dish there. All right, so I think I'm at the max, because when I look at it, it is bubbling up a little bit over the sides, and I think what I'm gonna do is just spray a little bit of the isopropyl spray to take care of some of the tiny micro bubbles, and then I won't touch it. All right, so we'll check back in a couple of hours. Oh, see, here comes a bubble. This will probably take care of itself. I'm not going to mess with it since it's so full. Yeah, we'll check back in a couple of hours. All right, so this has been about 30 hours ago. We poured this, and well, we saw whenever I had poured it that I over poured it a little bit, and something I always do, but it's gonna be that simple. And all I have to do really here is snip it off, and then maybe sand it down, or even heat it to smooth it out. So everybody ready? See what this mirrored dish looks like. I think it's going to be pretty awesome. Yeah, it's really hard. There we go. There we go. I love it. What do you think? If you like the way this turned out, give us a like, comment, share. I think something like this is really cool to get in the mood for fall. And if you'd like to recreate something like this, check down in the description. I will have links that you can just click on and go directly to the resin I used, the metallic Chameleon pigments, and a few other things. Thanks for watching.